Hi, my name's Gregory Dean. I'm the CEO and founder of Driq Health. This is Keith Wilson. He is the Senior Director of Business Development for our company. I am a urologist and I became interested in incontinence really as part of my professional training. But about 4 years ago, unfortunately, my father-in-law became quite ill and was in a nursing home. And as I wandered through the nursing home, I realized that despite the fact that it looks like a hospital, there really is no technology in place to monitor people who might have issues with incontinence. It's a massive problem. There are 15,000 nursing homes in the United States, and you're supposed to be checking and changing every individual in there every 2 to 3 hours. It's not happening. We're in the middle of a crisis of personnel. There's not enough people working in nursing homes. And so we set out to automate this process using technology. So we use a really cool, incredible sensor that goes on the outside of briefs or diapers, adult diapers. It literally is a piece of tape that can go on any brief. And then what happens is we monitor this. We have goes to the cloud. We have processing that occurs on the cloud, and then there's notifications that occur. We have notifications that are cloud-based on a PC platform, web platform. We also have iOS and Android apps. We have text messaging. We have email messaging. So we have a whole suite of messaging options. And really what we're doing is we're improving the life of the patients. We're improving the life of the workers. They don't have to mindlessly walk around every 3 hours and check to see if someone's wet or dry. There's a lot of other downstream benefits that we have with our solution. We went down the road of really understanding what nursing homes are looking for, and they're not looking for some plastic Bluetooth dongle that has a battery. You can imagine if you have 150 beds and you have to go around and recharge those plastic pods or dongles. So it was very important for us to use this sensor solution, but it works literally with anything, with any type of brief. We didn't want to get into a situation where you'd have to buy an expensive proprietary brief that had some sensor built into it. We wanted to really democratize this process for really everyone, including home care. This can be used for home care. So if you have somebody that's being monitored and you have, let's say, a central organization that's monitoring them, not only would you have the individual at the bedside, you'd also have the folks that are at the company monitoring to make sure everything is being taken care of. We also are developing other strategies to look at predictive determination of future urinary tract infections using artificial intelligence. And then we have really a more broad mission, which is to digitize legacy devices in the nursing home and also in hospitals. In essence, this is a non-digitized device, a diaper, an adult brief. And you sometimes can see little lines on the back that tell you whether you're wet or dry. So we've digitized that. We now have other things that we're working towards digitizing, but I think that the important thing here is our underlying technology, which is moisture sensing and then connecting over the cloud and then being able to demonstrate it, notify people with apps, both in Android and iOS environment, as well as on a dashboard, a PC or other dashboard that's cloud-based. I think it may be helpful to hear from Keith some of the challenges that we've had. I think that all device and software companies need to always assess and determine where they are. And Keith has been very instrumental in our process of changing to a Generation 2 device. And maybe you can speak about some of the benefits of our current device versus our earlier device.
Sure. So with our current device, it's a Wi-Fi based environment. We were using a cellular based network, but for stability, just for reliability, we switched to a wireless situation, Wi-Fi. So it just really allows us to be more versatile, to have an end user experience that is basically easier, more comprehensive, and just easier to set up and install and monitor patients with.
So this demonstrates the heart of our solution. So these are our sensor tags. These are reusable, but they can also be used in the disposable environment. I think we look to be green, and so we are able to reuse these many times over. And you can see how it's very easy to place the sensor tag on any adult brief. It can also be used in the pediatric population, but more from a healthcare perspective, from children that are under chronic healthcare conditions. But it's easy to use, and as I said, it can be used with any brief. Go down to any big box store, buy briefs, put it on, and you now have a digital diaper or adult brief. So I'd like to demonstrate how our system works. This essentially, again, is our sensor tag placed on just a standard off-the-shelf adult brief. And instead of pouring water into this, which would be a little bit messy, instead I'm going to pour it into a cup. And I have the same sensor tag placed on the back of this dry cup. I'm going to now take a cup that's filled with moisture. That's going to replicate a brief, an adult brief getting wet. And we're going to place it as if, again, someone just wet their brief. And then what we're going to see is a change. The change usually takes about 30 seconds. We can start to see the moisture state is changing. The moisture state will, once it's in that state for a few seconds, we'll get a notification. You can get an audible notification on our dashboard. We just saw a change on our app. We just saw a push notification on our app. So if anyone is in a nursing home, they'll know someone's wet, they can change them. This could be your grandmother, and they're going to be able to walk in, change her so she doesn't have to sit in a wet brief for hours at a time. We're at LSI because we are a company in early development. We're starting to actually go out and sell product, and we have a great user base, but we know that we need to build a company in terms of our sales force. So we're looking for investment. We're also looking to interact with strategics that might be interested in partnering with us.